But then there's another word. It says not only are we to go after him with our heart, not only do we go after him with our soul, but we also go after him with all of our might. Now, depending on what translation that you have, it also might say strength there. This is an interesting word that is translated here. I don't know if you've studied all the different Bible translations and how the translators decide which words to put where. But this particular word, if I can get intellectual for just a moment, I did tell you that was okay to be intellectual. But if I can just teach for just a moment a little bit of Hebrew. This word, mayod, is used 300 times in the Old Testament. Almost 250 times. This is an interesting word. Almost 250 times it is the word very. Very. Now that's a very interesting word. If you're an English teacher, you don't like the word very. You want them to, because it's an adjective. And it's not a great adjective, but we use it a lot. And so we say, if I'm learning to write, I think you need to pick some other adjectives besides just saying, he ran very quickly. Don't say he ran, get a little more poetic with it. He ran like a deer or something, something like that. Get a little more interesting with your words. Don't just use very. Very is kind of a lazy way to describe something. But it is an adverb that emphasizes the value of something else. So if I say, I find this in the scripture, Genesis 1:31. You don't have to turn there. I'll just tell you, recognize it when I say it. God saw everything that he made, and behold, it was very good. Mayod, good. It wasn't just good, it was very good. You see, this is how we normally use the word very. But here in this passage, in the Shema, in the command that brings revival, very is not an adjective. Very is a noun. It's a noun. In other words, we are to love God, let's recap, with all of our emotions, all of our intellect, all of our life, and all of our very. What is that? Oh, that's the extra. That's the extra that goes on top. That one of the commentators that I like to read, one of the translators, a scholar in Hebrew, this is what she says. She said, this word is best described as, it's a very scholarly word. So pay close attention when you write this down, make sure you spell it right. It's best described as this word, oomph. Oomph. Yeah, put a little oomph on it. Yeah, I mean, now it just got fun, right? Now you think about it. I got to love the Lord with all of my emotions. But not just love the Lord. I need to put a little oomph on. See, I like preaching to you already. See, you got this figured out. You know exactly what I don't even have to ask. It's not enough just to read about God and to think about God, but when I think about him, I ought to put a little. Y'all gonna make me have some fun up in here. I tell you what. It's not enough just to go through life saying, I'm serving God with everything that I am, but I've got to put a little. Mm-hmm. If you're going to experience the revival of the promised land, you got to put some oomph on it. You've got to. It can't just be, I'm doing 100%. You got to put some more on it. Just yesterday, we got a new vehicle. And my wife says, I'm gonna drive your truck. And I said, okay, I'll pray for you. And she gets in there, she starts, you ever try to figure out a new car? And all the buttons and, what does all this do? Well, she hit the button to open up the hood. And so she's sitting there so she calls me and says, I can't close the hood. I don't know what I did. I said, you just got to go push the hood and it will close. And she said, I tried that. So I came outside, put on my house shoes. I was looking quite like a sight. And I walked out there, and sure enough, the hood was propped up. And so I said, you just got to push on it. So I just shoved on it really good, and it closed. And she said, what did you do? I said, I put some oomph on it. That's what I did. That's what you got to want to do it. You got to really do it. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever been in situations where you felt like, man, I'm going kind of beyond the norm. I'm putting a little something extra on this. I've crossed over into, I'm now inspired. I'm energized by what I'm doing. I don't know if you ever had a project like that, maybe at work or around the house. You just get excited about it, and it's just like it's. Yeah, well, I do lots of projects, but this project, this one's special. And so you start putting a little extra care into it, a little extra something into it, and that's really what this meod is. It's very. In Exodus 31, we read the story of two men. There's one named Bezalel and one named Aholiab. So maybe not names that you name your pets or your kids, but you never know. Bezalel and Aholiab are known as the men who built the tabernacle of Moses. They were skilled craftsmen. They loved to work with gold. They loved to do stone cutting. They loved to sew intricate patterns. They loved to do that. And so when God called them to build the tabernacle of Moses, they said, oh, I love to do that. That's after, I have emotion about that. Like you want me to do what I'm good at? I love doing those things. And so they had their heart involved in the building of the tabernacle. And then, of course, they were willing to use the skills and the intellect that they had gained. And they were willing to throw their all into it. They were willing to use the soul, the life force that was in them to do it. And you can just imagine that when they started talking to Moses about building the tabernacle, they say, you want us to do what? We're going to build what? You want me to build the Ark of the Covenant? It's going to be covered in solid gold with cherubim that look at each other and look down at the mercy seat. And you want me to make a veil that is as thick as a man's hand? And you want me to sew what kind of patterns into that? No, you want me to build a brazen laver? And wow, I'm getting excited. This is what I love to do. My mind is all, you can just see Bezalel. He's going, my mind is already turning with ideas. I can see it already. His heart's in it. His mind is in it. He's ready to throw everything into it, but it's for God. This is going to be a place where His glory dwells. This is going to be a place where we go and worship Him, and He's going to speak to us. Oh, well, I'm going to put something different in that. He's just crossed over from just doing his normal stone cutting and his normal gold work. Now, they've crossed over into something that is actually inspired. They've got into their very. Wow, that's amazing. But then God said something a little different. You can read it in Exodus 31, He says, it's not just that they're good at it. It's not just that they like it. And it's not just that they feel inspired that you would ask them. But I have put my Spirit in them. I put my Spirit in them. God's going to put something else in the mix. We come with our emotions. We come with our intellect. We come with our breath, our life. We come with a little bit, with whatever oomph that we can muster. But then God says, I can do something with that. And you're going to do that. Well, I'm going to take it to another level. I'm going to put my Spirit on you. Now, every Sunday, you guys have church right here. It's amazing. And we do the same thing. We gather. We have a place that we gather into worship, and it just doesn't just happen magically when you walk in. There's a lot of work that goes into making church happen. If you don't know how much work goes into making church happen, show up early and stay late, and you'll see exactly what it takes. It takes a lot. And so we gather to serve, we gather to worship, we gather to learn. We're trying to engage our hearts, we're trying to engage our minds, we're trying to engage our lives, and we enjoy it. We do it because we love it, and we give it our all. We press in with zeal. We press in with our very. But then there's something that God does with it. As we press in, as we do what we know to do, as we do what we love to do, and we press in, we go after God with everything we've got, and then a little more. God does something to take everything to a whole other level. When that happens, when God sees your mind, your heart, your soul, your very going to work in His kingdom, God does something else. God adds something else. And here's what happens. Are you ready? Here's what happens. When you get there, revival will flow. Revival will flow.